Alright, so this video is on reversals. So it's still trading the trend. However, you're just catching the trend at the top or at a bottom, at a high or at a low. Alright, so basically you're catching the trend before the moment it starts. So let me just show you that. Alright, so you guys familiar with this. Okay? Alright. So a reversal is basically this here, and it's very simple. Higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. I'm not gonna draw these out. How to identify the reversal is this was your loss. Let's say this your loss. Higher, low, higher, high. Right? So this is your loss high. And this is your last low. So the first sign is when price come up from this point, create a higher high. Then now it come down, equal low, still in uptrend. First sign is when price, this is your first sign, is when price create a lower high. So it's lower than the first one, it's lower than this one. So that's a lower high, right? And the moment price break that low, here it now becomes a downtrend. Because remember, in a downtrend, price break lows. And remember, this is black, this is a higher time frame. Price break lows. So now, as you guys already know, when you break the low, you're gonna wait until you create a lower high, just for confirmation, and then you take it back for a sell below this level. Simple as that. Simple 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then afterwards, you trade the trend. You trade the trend go down, down and down and down until price is in a downtrend here, lower high, lower low, until first sign, price create a lower high here, lower low, now it creates a higher high. That's the first sign there. Higher high or higher low, whichever comes first. And then you're gonna take it back above that point. Right? Simple. Just remove these black lines to remove confusion. And then you trade the trend afterwards. Trade the trend afterwards. Trade the trend afterwards. Until first sign, just like this one. First sign is that lower high, because price has been creating higher high, higher low. But now it creates a lower high, so you're like, okay, all right. So what you do is, let's see the thought process in this. What you do is set an alarm here. You set an alarm here below this level, because that's your last low. This is your last low. So the moment price go below that level, you know that, hey, price is bullish. Price is on a downtrend. And then you set up alarm here, because if price break this, price is on an uptrend. I'm not going up there, we're down here, right? And then you'd wait, price create a lower low, bam, your alarm got pinged off. Then you come back to create a lower high, and you take it back down. Simple. Then you just trade the trend, trade the trend, trade the trend until price fails to create a lower low, because this is a lower high, lower low coming down. Create a higher low, then a higher high. So this is your focus point. You take it back above that black line there. Simple, right? Wait, what? This is tiny. Well, you take it back above this line here to go for an uptrend, right? By now you guys identified that. So let me just finish this join here. Sign, price fail, create a lower high, lower low, and then after that, trade the trend, trade the trend, trade the trend until price fail to create a lower low. You create a higher low, and then lower. You create a higher low, and then higher high. You take it back up. Simple, right? Same over here, and then you just trade the trend as is. Trade the trend, trade the trend, trade the trend until price fail to do something, and then you just take it back down. Take it back down, simple. And you just trade the trend, rinse and repeat. Alright, now I'm gonna show you that on the physical chart itself. So here, price is on a downtrend here. As you guys already see, price is on a downtrend. Right? I'm currently focusing on this area here because price created a lower low. So I'm waiting until price go back below this level to go for a sell. You guys already know that. But go back to the 1 hour. This is my last high on the 1 hour. Right? So if price was to reverse here, if the trend was to reverse here, you'd see I'd want to see something like this. Higher high and then higher low, right? Higher low, and then back above this level I'd go for the trend, go way up back up top, right? Because that's where the trend started from in the first place. But essentially this is what you want to see: a failure to do something to continue the trend. You need to see the failure to continue the trend and confirmation. So failure is when price failed to create a lower low. Confirmation is when price create a higher high in this scenario here, and then when it's back above that level, you take it back to the upside, stop loss below there, and you take it back up. All right, so right now, let me just show you. My alert is exactly above here for this trend reversal, and my next alert is below this point for trend continuation. All right, so yeah, that's my present chart there. That's my present focus. So let's just identify some more. So let's start from over here. Yeah, let's start from over here. So price was going on a downtrend, right? Price was going down, 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 down. Not drawn to scale, right? Uh, Price was coming down, lower low, lower high. This is your first sign. It's my first sign here. I wouldn't place a buy off this here. I'd place a buy once price come above that point to create a higher high, then a higher low, then I take it up, right? So this is my sign and this is my confirmation. First sign, failure to do something, and then it confirm what it failed to do. It confirming that, hey, I don't want to go down, I'm going up, right? And then you take it back above that level. As you already know, above that black line, take it back above that point and you aim up, right? And this, if you would enter here, that trade would have lost for, let's say, around around 1 day, around 26 hours. a little bit above a day. So, and then price is going up, and then it failed to create a higher high, and then lower low, lower high, then you take it down, right? You trade down, and then lower low. Remember, this was my last high here, right? This was my last high. Price come and create an equal high. So that's not even a sign yet. Let's just say this look kind of interesting here. Price create a higher low here. Yes, that's what I went from. And then the moment price break above that point, because this is my last high, I got kind of confused here. This is my last high, and then confirmation is when price break that high, come back to that high, and then you take it back up, right? And then you rinse and repeat. Price coming down, lower high, right? Failure to go any lower, then it push above that point, wait until it come back, and you just take it back up. Then price then a little downtrend here once more, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. This was my last high. Price failed to create a lower low, so this is failure. Higher high, that's a confirmation, higher low, and then you take it back above that black line to go for the uptrend, right? Simple as that. Likewise here, price was going down, going down, going down. This is my lower high. Let me just draw this out properly. Lower high, failure to go any lower, and then price break above to create a higher high, higher low, and then just continue the trend. So this trade would look something like this. You'd enter here, stop loss would be below this zone, stop loss would be below this last low, that last week, and you would aim for here. Ideally, you'd want to aim for where the previous trend started from, but it didn't went so high, but this was still a pretty big trade, right? And that would have last for roughly 3-4 days, right? And then once more, price failed to go any higher. Price was going up, create a higher high. So this is the high. This is the highest point. This was the lowest point. Price came below that point, creating a lower low, and then failed to go up, lower high, and then you take it here. And then you just trade the trend afterwards. Trade the trend afterwards, right? And then it happened here once more. Lower high. This is the first sign here, right? And then price come back to that level. This is a little smaller trade, still a good trade, but price come back to that level. You take it up. Stop loss will be somewhere below here. Still a good risk to reward, 2.3, 2.4, so that's good. And you just continue the process. Price is going down on this little downtrend here. Price go down, went down, failure to go down. Lower high, higher low, because it's higher than the previous low. Failed to went down. But what really confirms this, in the live market, this look different. You need confirmation. So the confirmation when price go above, come back, bam, and then you take it back up. Right? Simple. Stop loss would be but below that level, so that's like a 1 to 6. That's yeah, that's great. And then once more we trade the trend up to the top and then back down to here, lower, 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 high, until back to present moment here. So now my focus point is below here, below this black line and above this gray line. Simple. So that's it. I know that video was kind of fast, but that's it. That's how you identify reversals and trend. So if so, this is my last high. Price can continue trading this trend lower, and I would aim. Let's just remove all this and zoom in. If price was to come below this, go on the 4 hour, I would aim for the last low. I would aim for here, bam, either here or here. Stop loss would be above one of those levels there. This is the 4 hour. I'll go down to the 5 or so, or 15 hour. Stop loss would be above that level, and then I would aim for down here where these buyers are at. Let me just put this black line here. Aim for that black line or this black line, because buyers are here at this black line and buyers are here at this black line, because this was a place where people buy before. Here, look at the bottom left. Let me just zoom in. This is an area where people buy before, and then this is an area where people buy before. Ideally, this is where I want price to go, but you could also aim for there, right? Because yeah, so that's it for that video. All right, have a great one. Okay, so from the last 3 videos, I've been focusing on this black line here, right? And this is present day. So I made those videos like 3 days ago, 2 days ago, explaining about this here and exactly what predicted happened, right? So I won't even have to go over the trade, but I entered here for the sell, and I entered there and I was aiming for here, as you guys can see, this black line here, remember that? All right, and then last night a lower high form. Let me just show you. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. I waited on price to be back under that level, and then I waited on it to go bearish for it to break this low here, and I entered here. Once price break that gray zone, I entered there. Stop loss above that last point, and I was aiming for, let me just show you. Wait, I was aiming for this week here, somewhere at that gray zone. I was aiming for that gray zone. So yeah, catch all this drop here from there to here. Then market still drop. TP was a hard TP was there, so I didn't catch everything, but I was aiming for here. My TP was actually set here, so the TP hit, and it dropped even more. But yeah, still satisfied on these 2 trades here, from here to here and from here to here. So simple as that. All right, simple.